When did you realize your friends were actually fake friends? This was quite a few years ago. My ex and I were really friendly with another couple. Did a ton of stuff together. Then they moved, not far, and fairly shortly after my ex and I separated. They hung out with me for a few months but then stopped calling. A few years later, I ran into both of them at a race, an ultramarathon, and they both pretended like they didn't know me. That was actually a really painful moment. I just posted something similar. When I was married we were in a friend group with 3 other couples on our street. My ex cheated and we divorced. The group kept inviting both of us to the same events because they didn't want to pick sides. I moved out of the neighborhood and realized they were proximity friends. Not real friends. That hurt. A lot. What a jerk store move. It only takes a second is right, hey look at so and so and good to see you and keep walking. How old were you? Because this sounds like full-on adult proximity friends. Finding out they have an inner circle group chat but I'm the only one not in it. Same. I found out that they had 2 groups, one with me and one without. They never used the one with me though. This is the worst feeling. When I was in my mid-20s, I worked a job where 4 of us had the same position. The 4 of us did everything together. Then I made a mistake, and I apologized for it. But one of them just could not seem to forgive me, and aggressively isolated me from the group. I remember how shitty it was to discover that they had a whole group chat that I wasn't included in, and had done all these social things without me. I've always been lucky to have a lot of friends, and I figured out after a while that these people weren't going to be it for me. So I stepped away from those friendships and invested in my actual friendships. It still makes me mad looking back, though. I stopped smoking weed and they stopped coming round. This is a lesson that every smoker learns after a while. Some friends are only friends that you smoke with. A good rule of thumb is to do things together where you're not smoking. If that works then you are probably real friends and not just together for smoking. Are you me? People treat me like a piranha now. One friend stopped replying to my texts right after we graduated from college. Like the same week we graduated. So I was pretty much just a study buddy that they kept close to keep me helping them. Same thing happened to me. Was friends with so many people during college and the last 3 weeks was an unpaid work placement which we had to go back to the school to hand in our paperwork. Not one of them spoke to me or would even answer me if I said something to them. Became clear that I was only valuable to them when I was helping them. Class awards had me down as most willing to help classmates edit. Thank you for the award. Smiling face. This is basically all of the friends I made at various points in college. As soon as we don't see each other 3x a week, they fade away. I get they're busy but I didn't realize making lasting friendships as an adult would be so difficult. When I realized I was the one always calling, then I stopped and friends disappeared. I feel you on this one. I only have one exception to this rule as I know my friend is a reactive texter and he's got a lot on his mind at all times. PTSD, anxiety, depression and such. I check in on him regularly and I don't mind him being AWOL for a while. He's come through for me and he's a good man. The rest can frick off. Once high school ended, I heard about all the rumors they made up about me. The hell do you mean by rumors? What kind? Why? I have so many questions. I'm really sorry you had to go through this. I heard a bunch of rumors about me well after I left my old school. But not from my friends. People who I didn't even know. I kept to myself with a small friend circle. Had all sorts of rumors about me. Someone made a social media account impersonating me and made rude sexual comments towards some female classmates. I was so disappointed. I'd have been distraught if it was from a friend. After my divorce, we were couples friends, not individually. Well, here's the surprise. Not taking sides is siding with the abuser. When they start acting like you need to follow rules to be their friend. When I was 14, my friends started bullying me, so much that even my classmates who had previously not been nice to me were concerned. This was the first sign. They acted like I was a constant inconvenience to them that needed to shut up and do what they said. And even that wasn't good enough for them. After months of being insulted on a daily basis, I stayed away from them. I just finished high school a few weeks ago. They stopped being nasty to me once I left their group. And I decided to never confront them about the past because I knew they'd deny what they did. It was so hard to act normal around them and not show how I will possibly never be able to forgive them. When my phone got stolen and I lost their phone numbers, mine stayed the same, but we just never talked again. The group made plans to meet and hang out. I was getting ready in the salon. A couple of friends had to back out for some reason. The other friend then made excuses of his own, and I could tell. I tried cajoling him and offer ways for him to go, but he basically decided to cancel the entire group meetup. It was my birthday. Same thing happened to me on my 21st birthday. All my friends made up excuses why they couldn't come. Then the 3 friends that did met some guys and we went back to their house and awkwardly sat around. Happened again for my 25th birthday. I had moved across the country and found new friends, but they all bailed at the last minute. I called my roommate at the time who came out when he got off work, and he called some of his friends who came out, and I had the best night ever. Those guys are now my real friends, and I married that roommate. Damn. Hope you aren't with those people anymore. When they ghosted me after 17 years of close friendship, I still have no idea what I did wrong. And for extra salt in the wound, it was right after I spent a week eating instant noodles because I donated every cent I had to one of them for her cancer treatment GoFundMe. Hurt more than any relationship breakup. Is there a GoRefundMe option? This is incredible. It almost can't get any worse. This was also when I realized who were my friends and who weren't. We were supposed to go to a tour and we saved our money and pooled them. Fake friends told me they had to cancel the plan because ticket prices got too high. Told me to wait a few days to get my money back. Real friends asked me why I bailed on them, and were worried that I had an emergency. Turns out my fake friends didn't want me to come and instead would use my money for their booze and told everyone else that I bailed out and took my money back so everyone else would give more for their booze allowance. That friendship ended, and I also learned my fake friends were alcoholics and weren't strangers to fricking over people to get what they want. Today one of them is alive. Their alcoholism ruined their lives and some even died from it. Today one of them is alive. What about the rest? When I went through a divorce and was down to $0 most difficult period and weeded out all those who friended me for my generosity because I was well settled. Started over and have like 2 true good friends. 2 real friends is better than 100 fake friends. Hope you're doing well. Quality over quantity. Whenever we were supposed to hang out, something came up and that something was hanging out with other mutual friends. Whoa. That sucks. If someone makes plans with me unless there is an emergency or they legitimately don't want to see anyone that day, I expect my friends to show up. You can't ditch one friend to hang out with another, especially if you had plans with them first. When they abandoned me when I was going through a rough time. When I spent years listening and supporting them. When I have my first true moment where I am not coping and need support. They are nowhere to be seen and bitching behind my back. This is when I realized my high school friends never had grown up past high school. Luckily I had other friends. Just not a large girl group like that. But I can actually say that every friend I have, I know they have my back and won't judge me if I am not always happy. And the same for me. I have always had very high expectations of myself as a friend, and I feel that everyone I call a friend is someone that brings something special to my life. That is worth more than having a huge group of bitchy girlfriends who turn on each other when they are out of the room. It took me a long time to realize it though. When they stopped contacting me when I stopped drinking. I feel this. Used to have countless friends. Went out all the time. Lost control of myself and quit. Friends stopped calling. Now I'm a weird eccentric who hangs out in the woods in all my free time. Things are better this way. I have a couple friends who stuck around and the girl of my dreams. That's all I need. Congrats. You lost nothing of value. When you try to open up and try to share a genuine conversation about something going on in your life and all they can do is crack jokes and try to get you to go out drinking with them. Made me realize how surface level many friendships really are. Then you have the opposite of that. 3 guys I've known since I was a freshman in high school. Been friends for over 15 years. Have stayed in touch through all of us getting married, having kids, and moving to completely separate areas or the country. Yet whenever we're within an hour of each other we always make a point to get breakfast and catch up. This usually turns into 3+ hour conversations. This may only happen once or twice a year, but I consider those guys my best friends. That's real friendship and I'm fortunate to have them. I'm still best friends with my best friend from 2nd grade. We live on opposite ends of the country now. We make it a point to visit each other once a year. Sometimes where we live. Some to meet a random new city. We went to Portland. Or last year. Almost 30 years of friendship. We've been there for each other through all the hard times. And I get to be there for his wedding next year. Friendships are easy when you're a kid. But get harder with age. You have shit going on in your life that just makes it harder to hang out with people. But you make time for those who really matter.